Hey, Luke, do you think that your players were able to channel some of the energy in the building from Shaq, or do you just kind of credit that comeback regardless? And what did you think of that?
I think there was a better energy in the building because of Shaq and what happened today. I think we didn't get to channel that until the second half, and mainly when that second unit came on the floor and started defending. And once we started doing that, the building became electric. It was a lot of fun. We have great fans anyway. But I do think there was a little something extra in there. When you look around, at least for me, when I look around, I saw Shaq on the sideline. You see Horace Grant, Devin George. These players just sit, watching us play. It definitely brings a little extra.
A lot of young players from Minnesota too. When you have a game like that, what are the things that you try to take out of it as you're trying to teach and trying to grow with your own young players?
Well, the most important thing is we have to realize that offense is going to come. It needs to be done on the defensive end, and everyone wants to score, especially young players. But it's more fun, and everyone ends up scoring when you're focused on defense. When nobody's really worried about the offense, and when you're focused on defense and you're getting stops and you're fighting through screens, everyone ends up getting points on the other end. But we sometimes, too often, we concentrate too much on what we're getting on the offensive end, and we let that affect our defense. And I thought the group of Tyler, David, Corey, Larry, and JC in the third quarter. I mean, the game was going downhill quick, and we had no energy. The crowd was waiting for something, and that group really picked it up. And then as we put some of the starters back in the fourth, they did a great job of being ready and locked in and making winning plays themselves. But it was that group that really allowed us to get back into the game and give us momentum going down the stretch.
Hey, Luke, to that note, I mean, just considering the night that Jordan had earlier this week against the Clippers, what do you think helped fuel not only the points that he got, but just what you're talking about of making the positive impact on the game?
With Jordan?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to ask Jordan. I mean, I don't know what he's done different, but he seemed to have that spark back that he's played with for most of the year. The last couple of games, just feel like his confidence has been a little down, which we don't want, obviously. But he definitely seemed to have it going again tonight, and it was good to see. But only he knows the answer to that.
Coach, over here. Is Jordan, is he developing into one of your most consistent younger players?
Jordan, yeah, I think he's been one of our more consistent guys all year because of how hard he plays. When you play as hard as him, you're going to have more consistency. And he never gets tired. I don't think I took him out once the entire second half or overtime tonight. And he never seemed to. There was a couple plays he looked like he was tired, but for the most part, he just keeps going. The great thing with Jordan is he has the ability to be so dynamic, and you can see it tonight with some of the passes he made. And when he can, as he grows and can really learn how to control, his own game and what he's looking to do, he could be a very dangerous player because he had a couple passes, cross court to the shooter where his man was in tagging a roll man. That's a difficult pass, and it's difficult to even see. And he had a couple of those, and we know he can do that. So he's been consistent. He's been one of our more consistent players, and we have a lot more and higher expectations of the player he's going to become.
After that last game, you had said with him, he needs to figure out how to impact the game in other ways when his shot's not falling. Tonight, was that what you saw come together for him and why he was able to?
No, his shot was falling tonight.
Obviously, it was falling tonight. But, I mean, did him impacting the game in other ways contribute to that, or did you still not see him impacting the game in those other ways?
No, he impacts it. He impacts it other ways. But my point last game was he needs to find a way to do that when his shot's not going. Tonight he knocked down a couple early shots, and I think that kind of got his whole game going. And his playmaking was on. His defense was active. So that we know he can do. What we need to get to is nights when those shots aren't going, he's still doing those same things, besides scoring the ball.
What are you seeing in terms of Jordan and D'Angelo learning to play off each other?
We've seen good and bad. The first game was obviously really good for both of them. Second game was so bad that you can't really take anything from it because it was the team effort was that bad. And then tonight, offensively, together they started really well together. Defensively, we couldn't stop anyone though. And again, what the most important thing is the defensive end, which is really the only reason we were able to win the game or even have a chance to win the game. We put in, less talented offensive players, but guys that were more committed to that defensive end, and it turned everything. And then down the stretch, I thought D'Angelo made some great defensive plays. He had a box out. One of their bigs, I forget which one it was full speed down the lane, and he cracked him. And that's winning basketball right there. But he hadn't done it, the first two quarters. And I think once the momentum built for us on that end, he got in there. And he's a big, strong guard. So it ended with the two of them playing very well together. You get two playmakers, two guys that can knock down big shots on the court. But we have to be able to get stops. And at the end of the game tonight, we did with that group.
Do you find their defense is often better when they're not playing with each other, or is this something that they just need to be working out regardless?
Yeah, we need to keep working with them on that, regardless if they're playing together or not.
Hey, Luke, what did Marco tell you how Brandon's doing?
His knee was bothering him tonight. He's got some tendonitis. Brandon really wanted to go back in the game, but we had momentum, and once he admitted, because it looked like he was running a little funny to me, and I asked Brian, Coach Shaw, because I saw him talking to him, and then Marco, and they both said that he said it hurts, but he wants to keep playing, and at that where we're at right now, it's not worth that. So we were going to shut him down for the night no matter what, and David did such a good job anyways. I don't know if I would have taken David out of the game even if Brandon was available. To be honest, he was spectacular tonight.